What is up, you guys? I am coming to you from the lab basement, aka the fabulous big booty land, so that I can tell you the next steps you can take on your real estate journey to fast track to financial freedom. This is the same blueprint I used to get out of my W-2 job in just 2 years with real estate, doing whatever I want, achieving financial freedom, allowing me to really focus my time on real estate further to get to be a millionaire in just under 4 years. So at this point, if you follow these steps, I'll run you through all the financing options, all the different property purchases and plays that you can make that suit your personality to get you on that fast track. So let's dive into it. So we'll start at step one. I'm going to assume that you don't have any properties yet and you're looking to make your first move. You want to get into real estate. You've already done your homework. You've researched some things. You're getting more familiar with the concept. Well, now it's time to take some action. So the key that you need to focus on is leverage. There's a couple different ways you can do that. Now, since you don't own anything yet, you can leverage a first-time homebuyer loan, get a place for 3% down, and this will suit you in a couple different ways. I know there's all different types of people out there. Myself, I'm not very handy, so I didn't go this route, but I've seen other people do it really successfully. You can get right into what's called a home style renovation loan. So you can buy a property that's a fixer-upper. It has to be livable. You have to be able to kind of enter the property as soon as you get it. That's part of the lending requirements. But essentially, you can buy a house that's in decent shape, needs some work, move in. It'll take you that 3% down, but the bank will also loan you the money for the renovations, and they'll wrap it into the entire purchase. So you can get into a house. Let's say you're buying a house that's $100,000. It needs some work, needs about $20,000 worth of work. You would get a loan for $120,000. You'd need $3,600 to 3%, and your closing costs, and you're in. At that point, you can fix the house up, refinance it, or at that point, you have a good rental that you were able to fix up using the bank's money to rent out when you move out of that property. The other way you can do it is just buy a traditional house, move in, it's already fixed up, and this is how I started. I grabbed a new construction house, which allowed me to quickly find tenants. The place is sick. In Philly, new construction has tax abatements, but wherever you are, the strategy will work too, where you buy a house to live in, and by not having to pay rent every month, using some roommates to offset the mortgage, you're gonna be in a much better financial position to make your next move. Now, let's say you wanna jump right into an investment. You're really happy with where you live. You can still use leverage, you guys. There's a couple different ways. So the first way is to get a 15% no income doc loan. This is an investment loan you can get on single family houses. They just want to make sure that the rent that you're going to be getting from the property you're buying is going to cover the mortgage. There's a ratio for it. Talk to your lender, hit me up with the property you're looking to get, and I'll help you figure that out. But you're still leveraging at a really good rate of 15% down payment, and you're in a good spot to get your first investment started. Now, the last option you could do is get into the BRRRR method or flipping. This is going to be a little bit tougher in my opinion for a newbie, for someone who doesn't have something yet. You're either going to want to partner with someone with experience on it, or you're going to want to really do your homework before you get into these methods, and I would encourage you to research those yourself further. So we're past the newbie stuff, and now I can walk you guys through what I call the fun part, the fast track, the really interesting next steps in real estate. So you already own a place, you've already got your first investment, you're bringing in some good cash flow. Well, the next thing you want to do is focus on the next move. So you have a couple really interesting options. You can buy another primary house, wait the time for your lender to be satisfied, and move into another place with another highly leveraged 5% down payment. This option is really great, and I would encourage you guys to look at this option. And also, if you already own a place, you can get a vacation home loan, or as lenders call them, second home loan. These are super interesting because a lot of times you're going to be able to get a property in a traditional vacation market, hop into short-term rentals, and the leverage on these things is a 10% down payment. So you can really take these two strategies, mix them together, and you can be looking for the right property that's both a second home loan, and you can also at the same time be looking for your new primary, and you can do these things simultaneously. So now that you already have your first property under your belt, you now have the opportunity and no excuses not to grab two houses in your next play. While you're doing all this, as all the dust is settling on these, then you can be stacking up all the extra cash you can from your first rental, your second two, from your job, from wherever you're clawing money from, and you can look for one of those other options, whether it's an investment play, a BRRRR, or a flip. So now you're learning the game, you're getting into those other options. You have several rentals under your belt. So at this point, you have 3 houses and you're ready to make the next move. The cool thing is all you have to do is rinse and repeat that strategy. So you can move again in the next 12 months or move sooner if the house is bigger, nicer, new location, whatever the case is. You don't have to wait the 12 months to get a new primary home. You just have to have a good reason and a real reason for you to be moving houses. When you move into your new house, now the old house becomes a rental. And for me, the fast track was short-term renting. A lot of times people ask me, JD, how did you get so far ahead so fast? And they're coming from the perspective that they've got a rental, it's making $100, $200, $300, $400 a month, which is great. It's great to have a cash flowing rental, but you're not gonna be able to retire off of $400 a month. And it sounds very time consuming to try to get 20 rentals to be able to retire. Well, there's a much faster way to do it, and entering the short-term rental market will allow you to hit cash flows of $1,000, $1,500, $2,500 a month. At this point, for me, I retired at 6 houses. So I know you guys have a much better appetite and can see the light at the end of the tunnel when it's only 6 houses versus 20 to get done and be able to start taking your time back and get financially free. So the next steps for you guys is going to be trying to explore the short-term rental option. My team and I provide all types of help, and there's plenty of research to do on the internet that'll get you to the point where you're comfortable getting in short-term rentals. There's plenty of places available to do this research. I use Price Labs, there's AirDNA, there's all types of different platforms that you can get the data to figure out which short-term rentals are gonna be making you money, which houses are gonna be bringing you in $1,500 a month cash flow, and which ones aren't gonna be worthwhile buying. Now, once you've done your homework and gotten into these steps and you're ready to buy a house, it's very easy to see how you can quickly hit $6,000 a month in cash flow. If you guys are at this point, you're watching this video, I'm sure you've already written down what number it takes you to get financially free. And I would advise you guys that if you have a number that's set for your financial freedom, try to hold your W-2 a little bit longer than that, because that's where it gets really interesting. You've already got at least 3 rentals, you're stacking up a couple more. Now you're comfortable with the money that you're getting from your rental income. You still have your job. You're pretty financially set. Yes, you may have a lot on your plate at the time, but trust me, if you wait another 1 to 2 years and stay in those rentals and stay in that job, it's gonna be really easy for you to get a couple more loans to get that $6,000 up to say $10,000 a month. And at that point, you really won't need your job. And trust me, this happened to me, you won't feel like working your job anymore. It got harder and harder for me to sit at the desk and do work for other people that I didn't feel like doing when I was making 5 times as much from my short-term rental business. So once I got to that point and I knew it was time to quit, it was a very easy decision, and I got to put all of my time into real estate. This will happen for you guys too. I know there's a lot of you out there who love your jobs and want to stick with it. There's a lot of you out there who don't like your jobs and would rather quit after you have just a couple rentals. Well, the number for every person is going to be different. You may not want to leave your job until you're at 20 short-term rentals bringing in $30,000 a month. Whatever the number is, you're going to feel this as it comes. It's not like you're going to go from 10 houses to 20 houses overnight. Maybe at 14, you're ready to bail. Well, whatever that is, you're going to hit it, and you're going to be so relieved to have all of your time back. At this point, you guys are killing the game. You've already analyzed second home options, which are really valuable in the sense that you can buy this anywhere. You don't have to live near it. You don't have any other requirements other than having the credit and cash and having the right rental to buy, which are all the easy parts at this point for you. So you've explored those options, you're hammering away. Now you're looking for more interesting projects. Well, now that you have more rentals under your belt and you're more familiar with the real estate game, you can start getting into bigger projects. And what I mean by that is you can start taking on those BRRRs, you can start taking on some multifamily places, you can start taking on big BRRRs. For me, that big BRRRR was a $5 million project, 43 units up in the Poconos. For you guys, there's gonna be something different that you're ready to take on, and after having enough rentals, that'll be a good next play for you. The other option that I've considered at this point is investing in other people's syndication deals. So when you have been in real estate for long enough, you'll be very familiar and connected with a lot of other real estate professionals. Some of those people might be taking on some really cool projects. I have a friend right now who just bought and is under contract for a huge property down in Kentucky that's shaped like and resembles an old castle, but they're renting them all out as long-term units. It's a huge building, and while I may not have time on my plate to take on other deals, I know my friend is going to operate this deal very well, so I'm considering putting money into that deal, allowing my money that's sitting there to go work for me elsewhere, and that way I can focus on the projects I have and try to make those home runs. You guys can do the same. Check out some syndications. Always keep having your money in places that it's going to move and do work for you, and you can trust other people in the industry to make that happen for you. Meanwhile, you can be looking for more deals, looking for the next move for you, waiting on your primary loan to come back up. Whatever the case is, there's always options out there, and you should be exploring these options and trying to build your knowledge base and do more research so you know how to take those next level plays. Find a mentor that has already done those things. Offer to partner with them, offer to put cash in on a deal with them. They're always looking for people to invest with them, and you're gonna find a really great opportunity for some learning experience and getting more involved in the game so you can make even bigger and higher level plays. That's all I have for you guys today. We've gone over all the financing options, how you can leverage 3%, 5%, 10%, 15% down loans, and other people's experience to get your real estate portfolio to take off. Like I said, it took me 2 years to get financially free and be doing nothing but whatever I wanted, plus some real estate on the side when I felt like it. You guys can get that same opportunity to happen. Everyone's journey is a little bit different than the other person's, but if the information I gave you today is gonna help you with your journey, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you need any help with anything short-term rental or real estate related, DM me. I'm always happy to help. Instagram's @LiveFreeWithJD. You can post questions in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them, but make sure that you guys take this advice and go out there and live free.